Hey, good morning. Just looking at this overall S&P 500 index. This happens to be the futures, but if you're looking at spiders or whatever chart you look at, just a quick little heads up. Today's Fed day. This looks a little mumbled, but basically these are the support and resistance areas. So here you can see resistance, here you can see resistance, and so on. So right now we're kind of in between the first area of support, and we've got multiple layers below, of course. So just a heads up on Fed days, usually prior to the announcement, which is at 2 p.m. Eastern. And then Powell will start speaking. Usually you'll get sideways action, and it'll be slow and it doesn't go directional. Of course, anything can happen, but generally that's what happens. You might get an initial move either way, lower or higher, and then it'll start kind of going sideways. So just be aware of that. So we're more looking to take longs at support and shorts at resistance prior to the Fed. And we don't want to be trying to go with a huge directional move before that, because generally that doesn't happen. Even if you see some sort of directional move, because the Fed is on deck and people are waiting to see what they're going to do and say, usually moves just don't last either way. Now, one thing I will just say really quickly is, for whatever reason, every time Powell speaks, the Fed chair, the market seems to sell off. Maybe it'll be the opposite today, but that's just what I've noticed. So be aware of that. I wouldn't put trades on ahead of it just based on that, but just want to be on the lookout for that, because it seems like every time he talks, the market doesn't like what he says. So basically, you can consider today to be kind of 2 days in one. The first half of the day is going to be probably just a smaller move, followed by some sideways price action until the Fed numbers come out. So before that, I wouldn't, unless you saw something really, unless there was pandemonium in the market, I wouldn't try to get on board some massive move expecting some huge move one way or the other, because it's probably just not in the cards. It just generally does not happen. But again, could something happen? Yes, of course. And then post announcement, you can get a directional move then, because the market's, now knows the results of the meeting and their decisions, and they know what Powell is saying. So usually about 15 minutes after, you could take a trade if you wanted to. That's it. I just wanted to give everybody a heads up. Probably not the greatest idea to try to get on board a massive move early, because it's probably not going to be a massive move. And if you want to take a trade, maybe wait for some decent support, and it would be fading the market. So if the market's coming down to support, you're buying it when it gets to support, and correspondingly, if it goes up to resistance, you're selling it when it gets there. And on those trades, I wouldn't be looking for massive targets either prior to the Fed announcement. So the whole theme is try not to get on board massive moves unless there's a really good reason to, prior to the number at 1 Chicago time, 2 p.m. Eastern. And after that, if we see some huge, massive momentum one way or the other, that's the time you're going to want to maybe get on board. But let's see what happens when the market opens and what happens when the Fed comes out. All right.